All right, welcome back. We're going to do basic part number 10, and we're going to use another new tool. The new tool that we are using in this one is called chamfer, which is this right here, which is going to allow us to get this angle without having to draw it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our sketch. Oh, wait, I need to show you the dimension drawing. All right, so this is our technical drawing for this sheet. All right, so we've got our isometric drawing up here. We have our front view right here, and we have our top view here. Now, we could have gone with a side view, which would have been this one over here, but it really would not have given us any more information than what we've already got with our other stuff over here. So, that being the case, we are not going to worry about this. Ooh, this was supposed to be out here so we can read it. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by just basically drawing a rectangle. All right, and our rectangle is going to be 1 inch tall by 1¼ inches long. It's actually going to be an L shape. All right, so we're going to draw an L-shaped rectangle. Whoops. Supposed to have already done this and forgot. So here we go. All right, so this is what you've got. Go ahead and click on the front of your view cube. Click that front work plane, hit Shift S to start a sketch, and then hide your work planes so that you're left with your sketch plane. All right, and I am going to basically draw a letter L. So we're not going to worry about dimensioning. We'll do that in a minute. So straight line up with your line tool selected from that origin point, straight line up, little short line over, straight line down, another line over, straight line down till we match up, and then come back over here to connect. All right. Now we're going to dimension this thing. All right. So if I can remember correctly, our vertical should be 1¼ inches. Nope, 1 inch by 1.25 on the bottom. So this dimension down here is going to be 1.25 inches. This dimension over here is going to be 1 inch. All right. Zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to bring my dimensions up. All right. I know that this dimension here is supposed to be 0.25. And this dimension up here is supposed to be 0.5. There we go. And where did I get all that? Well, I got all of that from my dimension drawing. Okay, I know that it was 1.25 down at the bottom, 1 inch here. This tells me that it was 1/4 inch. This, I actually dimensioned this instead of this. I should have dimensioned this one to 0.75, but in the end, it's not going to matter. I know that 0.75 plus 0.5 equal 1.25. So either way, we're good. All right, so we've got that. Now all we need to do is extrude it, and the width of our part is 1.75. So come back over here, throw it into isometric, Shift E, and remember I drew the front face, so I want to extrude it back, and we're extruding it 1.75. Once we've done that, we can click the green checkbox, and we are ready to move on to our next part. All right, so next thing we've got is we've got a couple of things. We got these circles in the bottom, so we could make that step number 2, or we could get this angle right here, and that's what I'm going to do. Is we're going to get this angle. Okay, so in order to do that, we don't have to change our view or anything. We're just going to come up here and we're going to grab our chamfer tool. All right, and our chamfer tool, this is not going to be an equal distance. This is going to be 2 distances. All right, and so we're going to click on this. Now, if you had the, oh goodness, what am I thinking of? if you had the drawing that was on the grid, the grid sheet that they gave us, the graph paper, you would have seen that this actually, we know that this up here is a 1/4 inch, and from here to here is a 1/2 inch, okay? And from here to here, all right? So this point to this point down here. So we need to figure that out with our part student or with our chamfer. All right, so we know that this is going to be 0.25 inches by a 1/2 inch. Now, I don't know whether it's going to be 0.25 inches here or here. All right, so in the instance that we actually did this wrong, say for instance we made it's rise over run, which is what chamfer is. All right, so if we did this one 0.5, oh, looks like I'm going to get it right. So let me change that. So if we did this as 0.25, and then we changed this one to 0.5, what we're going to see is, okay, we ended up with the wrong angle. Okay, it cut it too shallow. All right, but that's not a big deal. We don't have to retype these. We can simply come in here and click opposite direction, and bang, that gets us what we want, 0.25 by 0.5. All right, so there again, that opposite direction allows you to, regardless of whether you put them in the right spot, you can flip that around. This is the orientation that we want, so we're going to click the green checkbox, and we have our chamfer. So easy peasy. Now it's time to draw some circles. So we're going to click the top of our view cube, and we're going to click this face right here, and we're going to start a sketch. All right. And I am going to zoom out just a little bit here. And I'm going to draw a construction line. So LQ, that's going to give me my construction line. And I'm just going, I don't need to line it up with anything. I just want it to go all the way through my part. All right. Actually, I'm going to change that. So LQ for your construction line, and just start your line somewhere in here. It doesn't matter where. Okay, just keep it inside your part. All right, so and then you can release your line tool after that. So what's this construction line doing? Well, what it's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to line up our circles and make sure that there is a line, or that they are all even. Okay, one of the things that you should have been able to see on here is that there was a center line that went from there all the way over to here, and that shows you that they are centered up and that they're even. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look when we see we've got 3 1/4 inch circles. So let's come over to our line, and we're going to grab our center point circle, and I'm going to make this easy on myself. I'm going to start at this point here, and I'm going to say 0.25. And then I'm going to use this other end point and tell it 0.25. Actually, okay. And then for this third one, I'm just going to select somewhere. I'm not going to select the center of this line. Actually, I guess I could, but yeah. And I'm not going to dimension this circle, okay? All right, so now I've got 3 circles. They're not spaced equally apart, and I know that this one, while it is the same size as this top one, I know that I didn't do the same thing here. So let's just say we drew 3 circles, and we need them to be the same size. Well, you have a special tool for that, and it's called equal. All right, and you may see a little equal sign up here. Looks like this. If you don't, you can hit the E key on your keyboard, or you can search for equal just like that, and you can select it. Okay, so equal tool is what we want, and I'm going to click on the edge of this circle and the edge of this circle, and bam, it's going to resize that circle for me. All right, so now I'm ready to dimension these, get them where they need to be. and we'll be ready to go. All right, so I'm going to grab my dimension tool, and I need to put these where they're supposed to be. All right, so right here, I can see that from the center point of this circle to the edge over here is 0.375 inches. For those of you that don't know already, that is 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so 3/8 of an inch. It's also 3/8 of an inch from the edge over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my dimension tool. I'm going to click on my center point, and then I'm going to click on my line, and I'm going to come out here, and instead of typing 0.375, I'm actually going to type 3/8, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's automatically going to make it 0.375. All right, and then what you're going to notice is, all right, so now from here to here, this also needs to be 0.375. Only it went the wrong direction. All right, so I'm going to now grab this and bring, actually, I don't know that I can. All right, I'm going to delete that dimension, and instead of dimensioning it there, I'm going to dimension from here to here. All right, and that should be, I believe it is 0.5. Yeah, 0.5. All right, so come back over here. That dimension here should be 0.5. There we go. And then the dimension from this center point to this center point, that also should be 0.5, and it is. And just to double check that I've got everything correct, I can hit this point to this point, and I get 0.375, which is what I wanted. So I know that I've got that correct. Now, the last thing that I need to do is it also needs to be 3/4 or point. It needs to be 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. So 0.375 right there. And we are good to go. All right, so now we've got that completely dimensioned. I can click the top corner there to throw it into isometric mode. Shift E is going to go into extrude, and it's automatically going to start putting cylinders up. And what I want you to notice is, with that being a construction line, it did not affect our cylinders. Okay, so that we're actually going to do a remove, and we're going to go through all and we're going to rotate around, see that that is correct, and we're going to click finish, and we are done. You have created basic part number 10. So right click, throw it into isometric, rename your tab BP10, rename your part BP10, and you are good to go, and you are ready to start basic part number 11.